The Section 609 Credit Repair Solution. How to remove all negative items from your credit report fast. Chapter 3. Improving and maintaining your credit score. Under Section 609 as a basis for improving your credit score is a great choice. But that doesn't mean you're free and clear for the rest of your life. You still need to constantly be aware of your credit score situation and work hard to maintain and further improve your credit score. The following outlines some effective tips on how to maintain good credit and potentially even improve your credit score. 5 tips to build a better credit score. 1. Dispute any existing errors. If there are any errors or inaccuracies on your credit score, you don't always have to go to the length of writing a letter and quoting Section 609. You can talk to the parties involved and try to get it figured out. For example, if you have an outstanding medical bill from an urgent care facility that you were under the impression your insurance company would cover, contact your insurance company and have it addressed. The unpaid bill is likely affecting your credit score. 2. Limit the number of inquiries. Too many inquiries in your credit can hurt your credit. So limit how often you reach out to potential lenders. In other words, limit how many credit products you apply for. 3. Don't wait to pay. You don't have to wait for your credit card bill to come around once a month in order to pay your bills. You always have the option to pay earlier in the month or even several times a month if you have larger purchases and want to keep your balance down. 4. Apply for credit limit increase. You probably heard that it's best to stay under 50% of your credit limit on all cards, sometimes even below 30%. If you have some expensive purchases coming up, or you simply require more charges to be put on your credit card, talk to your credit card company about an increased credit card maximum to keep your percentage in check. 5. Focus more on getting rid of new debt. Far too many people focus their energy on trying to erase debt from years ago. This can be seen as good debt, as it shows that you paid it off consistently over time, if that is the case. Newer debt has more of an impact on your credit score, so make getting rid of that debt your primary focus. Maintaining a good credit score is extremely important, so don't discount the ability of any one of these methods to have an impact on your credit score. Credit scores are more of a big picture, so small steps toward a better credit score really do add up. While Section 609 might be a great loophole, it isn't a permanent cure-all. Follow these tips to ensure that all debt and bad credit decisions are in the past, and that is a solid credit score in your future. Conclusion. Credit scores have a bigger impact on everyday life that most people realize. Your credit can affect your financial decisions and opportunities, from buying a new car to renting the apartment you want, to taking out a loan, to increasing or decreasing the amount you pay for security deposits. Bad credit can and will follow you everywhere. If your credit score is causing you problems, take a look at Section 609 of the Fair Credit Reporting Act and consider writing a dispute letter to the collection agency. Dispute letters commonly work to the writer's advantage, so there is no harm in trying to get negative items removed from your credit report. The strategy could potentially help you clean up your credit quickly, paving the way for you to get your finances back on track. Whether or not you follow through with the dispute, there are many methods you can and should use in order to maintain and increasing your credit score. Always remember to watch your spending, pay your bills on time, and fight any errors that may be reflected in your credit score. Your credit score is a reflection of your creditworthiness, so make sure it's strong. Ultimately, good credit can help you out in life. and this is not something to ignore. Take the steps to repair and strengthen your credit, and you'll soon reap their rewards. Appendix. Dispute letter templates. The following are examples of letters you can send to credit reporting agencies and bureaus to dispute any negative items or debt on your reports. All of them reference Section 609 of the FCRA, but they can all be tailored to fit your unique situation. Tips for using the dispute letter templates. Be thorough. When drafting a dispute letter, always be sure to include as much information as possible and keep all correspondence you receive through mail or email in order to maintain thorough and accurate records. When in doubt, include documentation. You should always attach any relevant information, including a copy of your driver's license for proof of identification, a copy of any documents they may have sent you, and more detailed explanations or disputes. For example, if you have an account listed as being late, print out all recent statements and records of payment. Illustrate your case. Make sure you include as many details as possible, such as account numbers, dates, and explanations. This will show that you did your homework and are taking it seriously. As mentioned earlier, the dispute information must be removed from your credit report if the agency does not respond within 30 days to 45 days if information that could warrant a reinvestigation is found. What's in each template? Each of the following templates is independent of one another, with the exception of template number 4, which is a general follow-up to any of the first 3 letters. The first 3 letters are simply variations of the same basic idea, with slight differences in verbiage and tactic. You might decide to choose one of the complete template to follow, or create your own combination of 3 depending on how you would like to approach your letter. Use these templates as a helpful guide to composing and organizing your dispute. With careful attention to detail, you should end up with a letter that is direct, convincing, and effective. Template 1. You want to have your name, your address, phone number, account number if available. Next section, you want to have the name of the company, the point person, relevant department, address. You want to date it, and you want to address it, Dear, name of the credit reporting agency. I am writing to exercise my right to question the validity of the debt your agency claims I owe, pursuant to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. As stated in Section 609 of the FCRA, Section 2E, a consumer reporting agency is not required to remove accurate derogatory information from a consumer's file unless the information is outdated under Section 609 or cannot be verified. As is my right, I am requesting verification of the following items. List any and all items you're looking to dispute, including the account names and numbers as listed on your credit report. Additionally, I have highlighted these items on the attached copy of the credit report I received. I request all future correspondence be done through the mail or email. As stated in the FCRA, you are required to respond to my dispute within 30 days of receipt of this letter. If you fail to offer a response, all disputed information must be deleted. Thank Thank you for your prompt attention to this matter. Sincerely, your signature and your name. And if you have anything attached, you want to see attached and then list attached documents. And then you want to attach any copies of proof of identification, like your name, birth date, social security number, current mailing address, along with a copy of your credit report with relevant highlighted items. As discussed in Chapter 2, what to include in your dispute. Template number 2. Same thing, you want to have your name, address, phone number, and account number if applicable, or if available. The name of the company or point person, the relevant department, and the address. The date, and you want to address, Dear Sir or Madam, I am writing to exercise my right to dispute the following items on my file. I have made note of these items on the attached copy of the report I have received from your agency. You will also find attached copies of documents that prove my identity, birth date, social security number, and address. As is stated in the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, Section 609, and then you want to include relevant quote quoted based on which area you are trying to dispute. Several quotes are listed in Chapter 2, or you can look at the FTC's website for the official document with exact verbiage. Make sure you note which subsection you are quoting from. Back to the letter. This item I wish to dispute are as follows. Then you want to include as many relevant items as you have, up to 20, including the account name and number listed on the report. Letter. There are incorrect, inaccurate, unverified, due to the lack of validation by numerous parties that is required by Section 609. I have attached copies of relevant documentation. I would appreciate your assistance in investigating this matter within the next 30 days, as required by the FCRA. If you fail to do so, all aforementioned information, disputed items must be deleted from the report. Sincerely, your name and your signature. And then you also want to attach any important information or documentation, and you want to list it in your letter. Template number 3. You want to address with your name, your address, phone number, account number if available, name of company, the point person, and the relevant department. You want to address of their location, and then to whom it may concern. This letter is a formal dispute in accordance with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. Upon review of my credit report, I have found that there are several inaccurate and unverified items. These have negatively impacted my ability to receive credit and have provided unnecessary embarrassment and inconvenience. As I am sure you are aware, it is my right, according to Section 609 of the FCRA, to request a proper investigation into these inaccuracies. In particular, I am referencing Section 609, Section C, B, 3, which lists the right of a consumer to dispute information in the file of the consumer under the Model Summary of the Rights of Consumers. As such, the following are items I wish to dispute on my credit report. And then you want to include any relevant information and items, up to 20, including each account name and number as listed on your report. Right there, those Section 609 C B 3. I have also highlighted all relevant items on the attached copy of said credit report. As stated in the FCRA, you are required to respond to my dispute within 30 days of receipt of this letter. If you fail to offer a response, all disputed information must be deleted. I have attached all relevant documentation for your review. I thank you in advance for your prompt response and resolution of this issue. Sincerely, your signature and your name. See attached. You want to put this on the letter, list all the things that you're including, and then you want to attach the documentation. Template number 4. It's the follow-up letter. You want to address with your name, address, phone number, account number if available, then the name of the company, point person, relevant department, address, date, and then the letter goes like this. Dear Sir or Madam, my name is, put your name, and I reached out to you several weeks ago regarding my credit report. The letter is to notify you that you have not responded to my initial letter, dated, insert the date. I have restated the terms of my dispute below for your inconvenience. For your convenience, my bad. You want to insert information from your first letter about disputed items, including disputed account names and numbers as listed on your credit report. Now, this is the follow-up letter from the first letter that you had sent, but they didn't respond to, if that's the case. Section 609 of the Fair Credit Reporting Act states that you must investigate my dispute within 30 calendar days from my initial letter. As you have failed to do so, I kindly request that you remove the aforementioned items from my credit report. Any further comments or questions can be directed to my legal representative, and then you insert your name or his name if you have legal representation, who can be reached at, and then put the number where you can be reached at, or her. Sincerely, your name, your signature, and then you want to say see attached, and then list all attached documentation, including copies of your credit report, proof of identity, proof of current mailing address, etc. And that's it.